Boy's birthday on Sunday.
About his new set on Walking Dead, and I'm collecting your stuff. I still have my battery set out.
Oh, wow! That's a hard one to find.
Is it? I should have never taken her out of the package, right? So, can you tell people about your new set? It's like I don't want to say Lego.
It's a building set. Well, like blocks, like people have had over the years. You know, I mean, that company is obviously one of the brands that people would be familiar with. But, you know, 2 decades ago, I looked at action figures and just was sort of curious as to why people couldn't make them look kind of cooler, with more detail, and make them a little more sophisticated, because I was getting older, right? And I wanted my toys to grow up with me. So now, fast forward, and I ended up going into that aisle and doing action figures and saying, oh, they can look cooler, and you can do a lot of stuff. So after 2 decades of doing it in that aisle, I'm just bringing that same mentality now into this other aisle and saying, well, I don't understand why block sets and building sets can't look better, right? I mean, why is everything... This is the thing that drives me crazy about toy company. Why is everything got to be aimed at 7-year-olds, right? Why can't you build some stuff for 17 and 27 and 77?
Over 30.
Yes. But no, but I'm saying, but the answer is, the way you sell something to somebody over 30 is it needs to have some correlation to what it is that you like. And so you don't, your mentality is if you're going to buy something for the AMC Walking Dead, it's not something that doesn't look like it. It has to look like it. So, you know, they've been doing some other brands, and to me, you know, they've got their style that they use. Okay, but my sensibilities are it should be realistic. It should look like what it is that you and I both like. And so I'm going to make an attempt, you can see here, to build sets that, like this one right here, is over 620 pieces. And when you're done with it, that's what it looks like, right? So it's not 5 big pieces of plastic, it's 620 pieces. And then it only comes with a couple of figures. You go and buy some of the extra figures, you can create these scenes that you saw on TV.
And it's a lot of customization. I heard that no set is the same, right? Some of it is hand painted and characterized.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of hand painting. So technically, you know, if you bought 2 sets, they wouldn't be exact. I mean, the brick counts, the brick pieces would be the same. So, you know, we'll end up doing that. But to me, it's just making it look realistic. Even the figures themselves, like, you know, the ones that are out in the marketplace now and they do very well are either square-headed, blocky people, or people with big feet and big wrists and big hands. And I won't do it. I just won't do it. I know if I'm going to make a figure, it should look like what they look like in a photograph. And if I do that, then I got a chance of maybe getting somebody over the age of 20, 30, 40 who like the show.
So just basically you bring toys to the next level.
No, I am doing, if you take some photos of what's in these cases here, and especially here, right? My blocks don't look any different than there until you get to the final layer. So I'm still building it the same way they build theirs. It's just that at the end, then, I'm going to bring on these little section pieces to cover up all the dots and the dimples to make it look like a totem. So, or if it's a square, then I'm just rounding it off. I'm trying to make it as realistic as possible. So that when you're done, it comes off as a piece of art and or like a model kit.
Yeah, I definitely display this.
Right. So I had somebody, the best I could describe is somebody that works for me said, Todd, you know, I've done some of their big builds, right? But he goes, I know exactly how you would make like the Millennium Falcon. He goes, oh, I got the Millennium Falcon, it's cool. But he goes, I'm kind of a geek, we're all geeks. He goes, but I keep the Millennium Falcon in my room. He goes, but the way that you would do it, and I know how I would do it, he goes, I put that build in the living room because we would then add another layer of art to it so it would look like a piece of artwork when it's done and not blocks. I can't let it be blocks at the end of the day. So I want to be the opposite of that. I want that the closer you get to mine, the more detail you see. And theirs, the closer you get, the more simple it looks, because you get to start seeing all the bricks. So I just want to have the sort of a different reaction to your eyes when you get to my set.
Well, I definitely agree with you. That would be amazing. And thank you so much for talking to us.
Appreciate it.